Hey everybody, it's Kendra. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you've been here before. My video today is going to be all about my CSA and just about CSAs in general, why I joined a CSA, and I'm going to actually show you what I got in my CSA this week. So if you're not familiar with what a CSA is, CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. And basically it's a program where people like me, we can sign up for a share of a CSA. So essentially you pay a farmer a certain amount of money in the spring, and then for however many weeks they decide to do the CSA, you get a share of vegetables every week. So the CSA farm that I am actually with is called Scotch Farm, and it is in Brodhead, Wisconsin. And the main reason I went with them is because they had a pickup location that's like a 10-minute walk from my house. So it's super, super convenient for me. Plus the actual farm is only like 20 miles from where I live. So that's awesome. My food doesn't have to travel super, super far. So back in March, I sent them a check for a full vegetable share and also a full egg share. So basically that means I get a bag of vegetables every week for 20 weeks, and then I also get a dozen eggs every week for 20 weeks. So the cost of my CSA, it was $595 for the full veggie share, and then the egg share, it was $90 for the every week egg share. So basically every Thursday morning now, I just either walk over or drive over to my neighbor's house, and usually my neighbor is there, so I chat with him. But if he's not, they actually do have a big cooler outside, so I just get my stuff out of that and toddle on home. So I actually want to show you what I got this week from my CSA share, so you can sort of get a vibe of like what you get, how much you get. So I just picked up my CSA share, and this is what it looks like, and this is pretty standard for every week. So I always get my dozen eggs. Let me open up my eggs so you can see the beautiful colors. Oh, there are even some feathers on one of the eggs. There are a couple little feathers right there. Beautiful, beautiful eggs. These eggs are so good. Love them. And then I always get a giant paper bag. So let's unpack this. I don't even know what's in here. So it's like an unboxing video, but with CSA stuff. So I have a bag of chard. So rainbow chard. Cool. What are you? Oh, I believe this is fennel. I don't actually know what this is. I think it's fennel. I don't think it's dill. Yeah, that's fennel. Whew, that's licoricey. Holy guacamole. No idea what I'm gonna do with that, but I'm gonna figure it out. Next I have some beets. Oh, look at these cute little baby beets. I'm really excited. They gave us the greens with it too, because beet greens are really good to juice. And I was actually just thinking, I should really start juicing again. So that's perfect. This, I believe, is a salad mix. Yes, this is like a salad mix. I think they call this like fire lettuce or something. It's a nice salad blend. Okay, we've got some snow peas. Little container of peas here. These are super yum. Nom 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 nom. Especially with that fennel, that tastes so good, right? So next I've got some white radishes, which I'm pretty excited to try. I've gotten a couple other radishes, radish varieties from my CSA so far, and they've all been super good. So, white radishes. I also have a kohlrabi. I don't really know what to do with kohlrabi. I think you can eat it raw or possibly mash it. I want to say you can mash it almost like potatoes. So that's cool. Next we got a big old bag of beans, green beans. I got beans last week and they were super, super, super good. And then my last thing I know is actually a canned item, but I'm not sure what it is. Kraut. Okay, so this is sauerkraut. I'm not a big kraut person, so we'll have to try this. But kraut is super good for you, and it's full of good bacteria and all that stuff. So we're gonna try some kraut. All right, so there you go. That is what I got in this week's share. Very, very excited to get into some of this stuff. Now, with a CSA, you do not get to choose what is in your CSA share every week. That is totally up to the farmer. You get whatever is in season and whatever is ready. So some weeks may be bigger than other weeks. It just kind of depends. It also depends on the weather. So, joining a CSA, if the weather is amazing, you could get like a really, really bountiful, plentiful CSA bag because maybe there's just so much to go around. If the weather doesn't cooperate and it's a really, really hard year, maybe your shares are going to be a little bit smaller. Okay, so I want to talk about why I joined a CSA and why I thought it was important to join a CSA. All right, my first reason for joining a CSA, food quality. We live in a world of mass consumption and mass production, and I don't know about you, but frankly, I don't really like the idea of mass-produced food. And I kind of like this whole idea of, supporting the little guy and getting my food close to where I live. Obviously, I live in Wisconsin, so you can't really grow stuff all year round. But if I can do this for at least 20 weeks during the warmer months, you betcha I'm going to be doing it. So the CSA that we joined is only 20 miles away, certified organic. So I know that the products that we're getting are really, really good quality, and they're not losing a ton of nutrients by being in transit forever. Plus, when you consider in the price, it ends up being less than $30 a week for 20 weeks. That's a really, really good price, especially when you take into consideration the quality. Certified organic products are super expensive, so this was just a really affordable way to get good quality products. Okay, my second reason why I wanted to do this, I like to know where my food is coming from. I grew up with a garden. It was normal for me to go out, help my mom weed and pull carrots and plant seeds and all this stuff. I remember being in the garden, pulling out a carrot and just kind of wiping off the dirt and eating that. There is nothing like having that type of produce. It's amazing. So I really like to know where my food's coming from, and I also really like to have a relationship with the food and with the farmer. So because this is what I grew up with, I really wanted to get back to this. And kind of leading into my number three reason, that whole relationship with the farmer, this is building community for me. We moved here 6 months ago, okay? Sure, I had friends from college, I still had friends here, but I really wanted to just kind of expand my community and my network and just meet other people who are really into food and really into this whole sort of world. And that's been a really great way to do it. My husband and I just went and volunteered at the farm, so, we had met the farmer from picking up our products before, but I had never met the farmer's wife, and we worked with them for a few hours, and oh my goodness, it was so hard and we were so exhausted after it. So we have that relationship with the farmer. We also are starting to build a relationship with the neighbors, where we actually pick up our share from every week. So it's just a really cool way to meet people and to just sort of get in touch with people who share your same ideas. Also, just with regards to the farmer, doing this has given me so much respect for farmers, and I also think it's a really good idea to do a CSA to just show your respect to farmers and just appreciate the food that you have and where your food is coming from. Because let me tell you, after 4 hours of volunteering on that farm, my husband and I, complete zombies. We came home, took a shower, ate lunch, and did nothing the rest of the day. That was how we spent the 4th of July because we were so dead tired. And that was only 4 hours. And they do this all week long. They never stop. Farming is such hard work. And frankly, there is not nearly enough appreciation or respect shown to farmers. So get out there and thank your farmer, because literally it is back-breaking work. All right, and my last reason I decided to join a CSA, I really love to cook, and I sort of viewed joining a CSA as a bit of a challenge. You get stuff that you probably wouldn't normally buy, like kohlrabi, like I just showed you. I wouldn't normally buy kohlrabi. I would never buy fennel. These are things I just wouldn't think to buy. But doing this and committing to actually using everything, you really have to get creative and learn and figure out what you're going to do with these things. So at some points it has been challenging, because let me tell you, I am not the biggest cabbage person, and I will not lie, I did actually give a cabbage to a girlfriend who actually really loves cabbage. Because frankly, you can't juice a cabbage. When I went into this, I thought, oh, well, I'll get a lot of kale. Everybody always says you get a ton of kale with a CSA. I have yet to get kale, but I thought, well, I like kale, but if I get too much of it, I'll just juice it. But you can't really juice a cabbage. That's kind of gross. So, I did give one cabbage away, but otherwise everything we have gotten, we have eaten. So yeah, there you go. That's kind of info about my CSA and my experience so far with it. I'm really happy we did it. I feel like we've been exposed to lots of new stuff, like new stuff and old stuff I already know how to cook. But it's been a really good learning experience. You know, we've met some people, we've just started to develop this cool sense of community. And frankly, I really like getting my hands dirty. I plan on going over, you know, like every week, every couple weeks to just volunteer. Now, another thing, like volunteering with my CSA is not required. I know there are some CSAs that do require you to volunteer a certain amount. And also if the money seems a little bit high, like if you think like, you know, around like $600 for 20 weeks of vegetables is a little high, or if you can't afford it, I know there are some farms who are totally willing to work with you. Like maybe you go and like work, you know, a few hours every week, and that's how you get your share. So that could be a really good option for people who are on a limited budget, because I cannot stress enough like how much people need to get back to eating real food and just getting away from yucky processed stuff. So anyway, I would love to know your experience if you have ever joined a CSA. I'm super, super happy with my CSA. I'll put all their contact info down below. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions about doing a CSA. Again, this is my first time doing a CSA, so it's totally like a new learning experience for me. So far, I love it. I think this is something people absolutely need to do. I think we absolutely need to get back to at least like seeing where your food is grown. I'm not telling everybody like go start a farm, go start a garden, because it's just not realistic for everyone. But I think just getting to a farm and seeing how these things are grown and how these things are produced. Also, I think it's incredibly important for kids to see where this stuff grows. Like if you ask a kid where do French fries come from, they'll say McDonald's, they won't say a potato. My husband, when he was a little kid, bless his heart, my little beautiful Parisian husband, when he was like 3, you know, he was asked where milk came from and he said from the box, because in France milk comes in a box. It doesn't come in like a plastic carton. He didn't know it came from a cow. So I think it's really important to just sort of instill these values into kids when they're young. And like it's a really cool experience, like going to a farm and like playing in the dirt. That's super fun for kids. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!